When you have multiple texts on one slide and you would like to navigate the timeline according to the text that are previewed on the screen, you can build your own automations for the navigation of the timeline by using buttons or icons or elements, so that you can synchronize your text and your audio. Let's take an example. If we have a 1 minute long audio file with voicing and everything, then we may want to navigate the text according to the audio. The timeline settings are used with triggers, so choose an icon that you would like to set a trigger to, open the menu, add an interaction, choose the action when the timeline reaches a certain second. Then select timeline and add an interaction and choose the parameter stop the time player. Select the second that you want the player to stop at, let's say second 5. We click on that confirmation button, and now when we preview the slide, it will stop at the 5th second mark. That would give the reader the opportunity to overview the whole slide. They can see what they have as content and then to carry on by using the controls here, or as we are going to do for these icons here. Let's say we add another trigger to that same button, that when clicked on click, it will affect the timeline and it will play and start the time player. We confirm, close, and now this acts as a play button. But if we would like to stop the timeline in a specific second or moment, we can set another interaction and trigger on click, timeline, we add stop the time player and confirm. And for this button here, we are going to set an interaction on click for the timeline and choose the parameter go to second. And we set 5th second mark again. Now, what we effectively done is build an in-slide player for the multimedia and timeline. The slide loads, it stops at the 5th second, we can carry on its playtime, and we can pause it at the 10th second, or bring it back to the 5th second without it playing. You can resume again from the play button and listen again to the same recording. Now, we can set different buttons with different texts, because there are tabs with different pieces of text. We can set for them different triggers as well. For example, we find and locate the buttons, and we select the trigger. On click, to affect the timeline, as you see, these are for the visibility of the button and they are for elements, but now we selected timeline, which is a completely different category of automations because it does not affect elements that much, but rather the timeline and audio. And we choose the parameter go to second. Now, let's say that this text begins at second 15. We confirm, close the menu, and go to the next button. For it, we're going to add a new interaction as well, on click, to affect the timeline. Choose the parameter, go to second, and this time we choose second 30. We confirm and close. Then the third button, but this time we are going to set second 45. And now we review the slide. Again, it will stop and pause at the 5th second. We can resume it with the play button. We can pause it. We can rewind it back to the 5th second. Or we can click on the tabs and it moves to the assigned seconds it had from the triggers. So no matter which tab you press, you will go back to the same audio that is listed for that tab. When ready, click on the save.